Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Referrals.com and I am so excited to be part of Scraptember today. Thank you to Laura and the Scrappy Sisters for inviting me to join in for a day. If you guys haven't been keeping up with their series, definitely check out both of their links down below as they have guests joining them every month as they scrapbook and upload a video every single day for the month of September. So for today's video, as you guys saw at the beginning, the theme or prompt is a grid style, which I personally love to use in a variety of ways. And instead of doing a traditional matrix grid, I do a little bit of a combination of that mixed with just sort of a color blocking grid pattern, which I think is very, very easy to do, especially with all of us that have all of those cut aparts in our stash, whether they're pocket page cards or 3x4 cards, whatever it may be. You know you got them, you know you love them, but they can be difficult to use quickly. So I decided to use my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for the month of September, which included this lovely cut apart sheet from the DCWV watering can 12x12 paper pad. And just look how pretty these cut aparts are. I mean, I love the colors, I love the style. It's definitely a unique style in terms of the illustration. But I paired those 4 cut aparts and the photo of myself with a 12x12 script background, which is black, so lots and lots of contrast. Originally, I wanted to keep all of that contrast, but you'll see as the design develops, I will change that out. Here I'm going to map my photo on a 6x6 piece of pattern paper from the Dear Lizzie Lucky Charm paper pad, also part of my kit this month. And it really had all the exact same colors, including the off-white color, the creamy color that's in this collection and paper pad from DCWV. And here on the right-hand side with the 4 cut aparts, you'll see I have the grid already going. And the 2 bottom cut aparts are essentially taller than the other 2 because they are on the border edge with the branding strip. So I decided to keep the additional height because I really liked the variance in that. And not every grid pattern that you do has to be an exact square or rectangle or the exact same size. You can really mix and match to make it work for you. And what I end up doing is actually taking another sheet of the exact same paper and flipping it over to reveal this beautiful slight yellow pattern. And it'll be easier to see in the close-ups at the end, but I do plan on matting them on that in some capacity. So I pull that out. It works really well except for that top right card that has the same shade of yellow as its base color. So I decided to mat all of these on some white cardstock, which is something so simple but so impactful that I often forget to do with my photos, with my elements. I mean, even here I didn't do it with my photo, but I did it with all of my cut apart pieces. So whatever floats your boat, it really does add a bit of additional polished look to this layout and definitely helps differentiate that yellow card specifically from the background paper that ends up going beneath it. And all of these cards have different sayings, and I didn't actually pick one out to be my title. I just kind of like how it is. I'm sure I named this video one of them, but really it's all 4 of the things. By the time I end up finishing this layout, there wasn't really room for another word on it, as you'll see as the design progresses. But here I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this yellow paper. And so I end up measuring out where the cut aparts end up lying down with enough spacing that makes it a nice grid with breathable room. And then most of my black pattern paper gets covered up, but that's totally okay. It still has that contrast. It still provides that impact of a textual script and just being a great pattern overall. And what I really like is that contrast, and the words on the background actually really are fitting with the words in the cut aparts as well. So I really like how that comes together full circle for this good vibes, nice feeling, believe in yourself kind of feel. So as I go through the rest of my kit, I start pulling out embellishments, but I want to start committing to where these things are going so this layout can move along quickly. And this was actually a really great day for me creatively. I thought this layout came together so well, and so did my other ones on this particular day. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so you can see more layouts that I've created already that have yet to be posted, and many more videos to come. Here I pull out my washi tape drawer. If you guys don't know, I am a washi tape lover. Every layout tends to have washi tape when I am making it. So I pull out this Pebbles washi tape, which is a diagonal stripe rainbow washi tape, but it's not the traditional rainbow. It's not primary colors. It's actually very bright colors which match these cut aparts very, very well. and it's just happenstance that I found it. I was just going to go for a solid, to be honest, but that changed quickly once I saw my little rainbow one. I did think I would eventually find a 3x4 card to fit in that top space to sort of finish off this grid style look, but as I went through, I noticed a majority of them are rounded corners, and had I known I was going to do that, I would have rounded the corners of the other pieces, but it was too late for that. So with that idea sort of out the window, I pull out a white tag, which is just slightly too big. And guys, what's really nice about tags is you can always trim them down if they're too long, or you can also trim the sides down if they're too wide, which I have done both in the past. And on this particular one, I'll actually have to trim the tag itself down because it is a bit too tall for this space that I wanted it to be in. But before I finish embellishing, I want to commit the space for these pocket page cards, and I left more spacing in the middle of them as opposed to the outside edges of them. So I really like that kind of breathability look between where the actual images are in the center versus the outer edges where there's not as much going on. But that's a personal preference. Some people like even edges when it comes to grids. Some people like them, you know, like a loose grid pattern. I would say this is a pretty tight grid because I am using a T-square ruler, which is something I rarely do. But for a pattern like this, and a design like this, you often want to do that, especially if they're supposed to be the same size, which you probably saw me finessing with them there. They're not the same size. I don't know what happened in the trimming process, but either they were printed slightly off center or something happened. But for now, I'm going to continue decorating, and I have the tag. Now I need to fill it with some twine. I end up going for my trusty dusty pink twine. I do wish I had a thinner version of pink twine. This is the only one I own, but it does the job. It's the perfect shade of pink and white. Baker's twine is something that I take for granted so often in my craft room because I don't have it in every color, but when I have it in the color I need, it always adds so much texture and fun to a layout. I just chopped off a tiny bit of that tag with my trimmer, so I made sure it was a straight cut, and that will be another cluster. And this is sort of where the fun embellishments come in. And like I said, I did go through a bit of my kit already to try to pull in some things. I knew this color scheme already worked because I just put this kit together earlier in September, and I want to make sure that everything kind of just comes together naturally. So in order to finish building out that cluster, committing to where my photo is at the bottom here, and since this particular day's prompt is grid, I would love to challenge you guys to join in at Scraptember. So check out the Facebook group if you're not part of it, where you can see all of the prompts each day in September. And it's just going to be a really fun time. And I'll have the Facebook group link down below, as well as the lovely Laura and the Scrappy Sisters, so you guys can check out their projects from today's prompt, as well as the rest of September as it goes on. There's some pretty great prompts that I think a lot of you will enjoy. But grid design's the one that I signed up for because it had been a while since I've done a grid, at least to this capacity, and I thought it would be another fun one to try out. Here I'm doing these wonderful Jelly Bean Soup puffy stickers that are the exact color scheme of this paper pad. I don't know how I was so lucky, but I put a small puffy sticker on each of the cut apart pieces, and you also saw me take a snippet of Freckled Fawn washi tape and put it at the top of each of the pocket page cards, which is such a cute look that I see on Pinterest and in graphic design, is that you just make it look like things are being held up by tape or push pins, and it is just cute and iconic, and I just love how it looks here too. And now I'm going to build out the cluster on top of my tag. Originally I thought that might be used for journaling, but instead I do plan on putting journaling sort of in strips beneath my photo in that small gap. There's not too much journaling to go with this one, but it'll fit there nonetheless. And here is where I start using my Jen Hadfield sticker book to start building out some clusters and add additional contrast to the top layer here, because as you can tell, contrast at the top and the bottom due to that text pattern, but there's not much contrast anywhere else. So luckily in the Jen Hadfield sticker book there are quite a few phrase stickers that are in a deep dark gray. It's almost like a chalkboard where it's not pitch black, but it is very, very dark, and it still provides a ton of contrast. So I end up building out this cluster up here with mostly my sticker book, and the base of that is an Altenew die cut, just a little one in the set that I put into this kit. And here you can see I am just layering those puffy stickers wherever I can because they're gosh darn so cute, and I just really love the Jelly Bean Soup puffy stickers. If you guys haven't tried those out, definitely recommend them. I've loved the sets that I've had. But with that, just a little dab of glue here and there to finish off this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed my interpretation of the prompt for a grid design. I really love the tape at the top of these. I think it looks so precious. But let me know what you guys think of this layout in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out the lovely Laura and the lovely Scrappy Sisters for tons of inspiration all September long, because you guys don't want to miss out. And be sure to check out the links down below for my playlist and other places you can find me around the internet. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe for more videos.